Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in and joining me at Sharing Recipes, which is no longer just about sharing recipes for food, but also just for life as I see it. Today, though, we're going to be cooking homemade Alfredo sauce, and I had a little bit of some Alfredo sauce left over, so I'm gonna add that just to use it before it goes bad. We're using 5 cheese tortellini, some fresh spinach, and the chicken apple sausage that I grilled the other day. And that's what we're having for dinner. Did you find the onions, the frozen bag of onions? They're outside in the they're outside in the deep freezer. That's why I said it before you. Okay. So if you missed out on my recipe, I'm gonna do a few things different because I have some ingredients that I need to use up. And ultimately, they're all basically dairy and basically the same substance, just produced or made or aged a different way. So we were gifted with this light sour cream. We have another one, a whole nother one left. This one is almost gone. So instead of me adding milk to kind of thin out my substance today, I'm going to be adding the sour cream. Normally I would do milk, but today I'm going to do sour cream. First step, we need butter. And for this much pasta plus meat, we need that whole stick of butter. My camera lady was so good. And I already have it on low. I have it on low heat because I don't want it to turn brown. I just want it to melt. Camera goes back. So, because I'm doing like a little mixture of the dish while the while the butter is melting, I'm going to saute the onions in there. That's it, break up frozen, and just bang it. Bang it. With these cookie shears, y'all know I can't do none without my cookie shears. Alright, so I'm going to add about a cup of chopped onion. You can do fresh chopped onion, but I had this frozen, and just as a time saving, I'm using the frozen. And get a clip. You need to clip that for me. Alright, so the directions to cook the tortellini say you need to boil them for 4 to 5 minutes depending on the texture that you want. So instead of boiling them in water, I'm going to cook them in the Alfredo sauce since they cook that quick. Why do 2 steps when we can knock it all out in one stone? Alright, so I'm sauteing these on low. Let my butter get melted. Paige, go ahead and show them the rest of our ingredients. That's the Alfredo sauce that I'm going to add at the end just to add to it. I'm using some whipping cream, parsley as garnish just to make it pearly. Feta cheese, because that's our favorite. We're going to sprinkle that on top at the end. It's going to give it an extra sharp cheddary bite. Like I've described feta before, it's kind of a mix between goat cheese and cheddar cheese. I already told you guys the base for Alfredo is Parmesan and cream or milk, so there we have. And then I found this at Sam's Club. It's got Italian cheese 4 mix. It already has the smoked provolone cheese, Asiago medium cheese, Parmesan cheese, and Romano cheese mixed in. So we're going to be making a 5, let's see, 6, 7. We're making an 8 cheese dish because the tortellini is stuffed with ricotta, aged Parmesan, mozzarella, mascarpone. If you never had mascarpone, it's creamy, and aged Romano cheese. So this dish is going to be very savory, very I can't even stop. I don't even have the right word. Let's just say so delicious. It's gonna be so delicious. Tasty, tasty. All right, so my butter is melted. My onions are slow sauteing. And because I don't want my butter to turn brown, I'm cooking it low on 2. I just want to give these onions time to soften and cook a little bit before we add our cream and begin making our Alfredo sauce. Alright, I'm going to put my onions in. So while those are sauteing, I can go ahead and start prepping my spinach. The onions and the spinach are going to be the only vegetables that I add today because I really want the tortellini and the sausage to be the highlight, of course, in my homemade Alfredo sauce that we're going to add a little extra to just to get rid of it before it goes bad. It's supposed to go bad in a couple days, so I'm like, let me use it. All right. So I should have got my, it's always easier to cut this up in a bowl. That way when you get done, all you gotta do is dump it in the pot. And y'all know I always pre-clean my surfaces with Clorox spray or wipes or whatever because I like to use the granite countertops. They don't mark up. So by the time I get done with this, my onions should be fully sauteed. Plus I'm getting my daily arm workout in some kind of way. I had to lift the table the other day by myself, so that was the workout I got the other day. And I'm not gonna use too much because my son has a thing about green stuff in his Alfredo, so this is gonna be enough. But if you guys like a lot of spinach, add more. It's up to you. But this is cut up probably about 3 cups. And I like to turn mine just to make sure I don't get any big chunks still in there. Because the smaller that you cut them, the smaller that they cook down and the less visible they are. And my son or any kid that's not big on eating green vegetables mixed in with their food, they'll eat this because they'll be small once they finally cook down. I can tell them it's parsley. All right. So these onions have sauteed enough, and notice by cooking it on low heat, my butter has not browned. It's still yellow and creamy, and that's what you want. You don't want to make it brown butter. Brown butter we use in different recipes. So because I'm making a large pot, this is almost full. It's 16 ounces, so it probably has about 10 ounces left in it. I'm gonna go ahead and use the whole thing. And plus I have this Alfredo sauce that I'm gonna add later on to spice it up. So I poured that whole cream in. Let me get my whisk. This is silicone covered, so it's not going to scrape my pot. Well, because you know, Alfredo, in order for everything to congeal appropriately, you have to continuously stir it. All right, so I had some Parmesan left from the last time when we made that 5-cheese macaroni grill on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and use all of that because that's the basis, but you need way more than just, I only had about a half a cup left in there. And then this is gonna add, this is gonna add that extra kick to the sauce. That's going to make that all the difference because all the different cheeses that are in here. So even though they're gonna all be mixed together, you're still gonna get like a hint of all the different aged cheddars and the Romano and things like that. All right, and I'm gonna add about 2 cups because remember all I had was half a cup, and I'm gonna stretch this. And now I'm gonna just turn it up on medium heat and continue stirring until it all melts and gets together. Paige, can you start this while and record while I get the pepper and salt? So, black pepper. I love black pepper in my Alfredo. If you don't, omit the black pepper.
It looks so nice and creamy.
Yeah, keep stirring so it stays like that. Alright, instead of using regular salt, I'm going to add garlic salt to give it that extra garlicky flavor. And that's probably about 2 tablespoons. But flavor everything to your tasting. Keep stirring until it all melts. Alright. So anybody that doesn't know how to make Alfredo, let's just say you don't have this nice convenient jar, that's all you need. That's Alfredo sauce right there. You let it cook, stir your pasta in it or pour it over your pasta, and voila, you're ready to serve it. My son is not very big with chicken in his, so he would eat it just like that with pasta. But you can eat it with shrimp, you can eat it with crab, you can eat it over salmon. Ooh, that's my favorite, Alfredo with salmon. Coming to you soon. And just, it goes well with anything. So, alright, so that looks pretty creamy enough to me. Let's go ahead and add this so that it doesn't go bad. And we need enough to stretch it anyway. So, tip, I'm a person that likes to try to get all of my money's worth, okay? So yes, I put a little bit of water in here. I'm shaking it so that I can get all my sauce that I paid for at the store. all my sauce I paid for from the store. All right, and then I'm adding, instead of using regular whole milk, I'm gonna add the rest of this sour cream to give it more of more of a creamy texture, and also to spread it. And this was about to go bad, so we can add it in. Like I said, all of it is dairy. It's just that it's processed and made a different way, but it does react basically the same. I've substituted sour cream in many baking dishes, and it always turns out very nice. Keep stirring that till we get it all nice and smooth, just blend it in. Okay, so before we add anything else, we're gonna go ahead and put our tortellini in because it needs to cook for 5 minutes. Our sausage is already cooked, but we're gonna go ahead and begin the tortellini cooking process. While that's cooking, we'll go ahead and start cutting up our sausage. Do you think we should serve the sausage on the side or inside? And this is 1 pound, 8 ounces. So this is 12 ounces. Okay, so this was 12 ounces. No, 24 ounces of tortellini. And it recommends you cooked it in 6 quarts. So this is about 6 quarts of Alfredo sauce. Notice how it's covering all the tortellini. So I'm gonna let it boil on 4, come to a boil, and when that's done, hopefully I'll be done cutting up our chicken sausage so that we can add it to our meal. Come on over. So I'm just gonna cut nice sized chunks. I'm doing them about 1/2 inch. And the beauty about sausage is it plumps up so nice and pretty when you put it on the grill. It busts open and you see the juices squirting out and spurting everywhere. And when you reheat it, guess what? It plumps back up and does the same thing. So sausage is one of those things that comes back to life, even when it looks all cold and shriveled. So kids, I wonder what that tells you about sausage. When it heats, it expands. And when it gets cold, what does it do? What's the correct term? If it heats up and expands, that means it gets cold and it, what? Paige, do you know?
No, it gets smaller.
It does. It shrinks.
Yeah.
That's why it's wrinkly.
Come.
But I was gonna see what word you come up with.
I know.
All right, so I already see my little bubble boil, so we can go ahead and start putting our sausage in. And the way I'm gonna measure is one person would have ate one sausage for one meal. So this is a meal for 4. I'm gonna do 4 sausages, and that's just happened to be how many I have.
One rolled over here, Mom.
Okay, dang it, baby, you keep
Oh,
distracting me.
sorry.
I'm gonna pop that in here. All right, another technique, put them same way and cut 2 at a time. Of course, you can use a bigger knife, but this is what I started out with, so this is what I continue with because it gets the job done. And as I always say, when meat is cold, it's much easier to cut. It's less resistant because everything is cold, solidified, and congealed together. And you're gonna get that nice smoke taste into the Alfredo sauce too, that the sausage experienced on the grill, absorbed on the grill. Ooh, that's gonna be something. That's gonna be something. That's gonna be something. All right, so our last batch, let's put them in. The directions say that if any of your tortellini is stuck together, don't worry about trying to pull it apart. It will automatically pull apart by itself. So don't be trying to break it because you might tear the pasta. And then the cheese and things will start to come out. Zoom in on that. Oh, I left some sausage over here. All right. Oh, flash. All right, so look, we still have chicken, we still have steak, so I still have 2 more meals that I can potentially make with this. So tune in tomorrow for the chicken. We're just gonna do something quick and easy, which is what this is all about. We gotta do some good cooking in a little bit of time. Ain't that right, baby?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Looks really good.
Stir, please.
With this or this?
The spoon.
I can already know this gonna taste good.
You already know it's gonna taste good?
Yes.
It's boiling again?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's leave it
little bit.
alone. Let's set it, let it boil, and then when it boils, I'll let you add the spinach and stir.
Okay.
The spinach is the last thing we're gonna add in because it does not take long to cook at all, and we just want to wilt it. We don't want to like overcook it, but we're gonna give it time to soak up some of those flavors and some of that Alfredo, and then we'll be ready to plate. So let's watch it. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the cheese out because if I know my kids, my mama, they like extra cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be our extra cheese station over here and our garnish. And I'll go ahead and get bowls. We're gonna serve them. Serve them in these. These look like those like Italian plates you would get from Olive Garden.
Yeah.
I think my mom probably get these from the Container Store. It's one of her favorite places to shop. So we'll put them over here since this is the garnish area. All right, so it's boiling again. And that sausage does not take long because it's cooked already. All we're doing is reheating it. When it does come, it is raw, so you do have to make sure you cook it thoroughly. Oh, you want to do this part? Well, here, let me take the camera. You have to do it at the same time. Just do a little bit at the same time. You can just pour it in, baby. Okay, now stir. Because you want to get some everywhere. Now
Wait,
stir.
let me switch arms.
If you have to, that's fine. Whichever arm's more dominant, that's the stirring arm. always. So are you right-handed or left?
Right.
Exactly. And put your elbow down. You don't have to put so much work into it. Cooking is supposed to be relaxing. Go ahead and put all of it in there. And just keep stirring. Alright. That's all of it.
All gone.
Alright, so we're going to continue stirring that. Ooh, okay, that's good. Now let's just let it do what it's going to get all its spinach off of there.
I knew you was gonna do that.
Y'all like that beat? That's my tortellini. Alfredo beat. Spinach tortellini. Alfredo beat.
Make sure all the
Put that chicken and apple sausage up in it. Get it boiling and get it together. Alfredo with cheese tortellini. Chicken, apple, sausage, spinach in it. We put a little bit of chopped onions. Gonna make it a little sweet. We got a nice little savory dish here with a hint of sugariness.
Should I stir it?
Alfredo with the tortellini and spinach and the chicken apple sausage. Alfredo with the tortellini. It's got a lot of cheese, so I recommend that you don't leave the house when you eat this. Please, when you eat this, please, just chill at the house when you eat this. Cause it's rich and it's creamy and it's so delicious and it's rich and it's creamy and it's so delicious, so delicious, so delicious. All right, y'all. That was me trying to waste time till it was done cooking. It's done. It's ready. Now, just like with any sauce, if you cooked it appropriately, it should thicken up. All right? My tip for today. Of course, we're not going to eat all of this. That's why I cooked it. But potentially I could serve it either for dinner again tomorrow or lunch tomorrow. Because my kids normally eat like lunch snack because they sleep through breakfast. So, oh well. If they miss breakfast, they miss breakfast. They got to get up and cook it themselves. Once I close the breakfast kitchen is what?
Closed.
That's right. So they better get up. They better get up in the morning. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera back over to the camera girl. Thank you, baby. And let's go ahead and start to plate. Mom. Yeah. Are you ready to eat? You ready? Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and plate. Move it close so it don't make a mess.
That looks good, Mama.
Yes, it does, baby. And see, I like to do it like this so that way I don't have to worry about asking for no more sauce on the side.
Yeah, I do want some actually.
That's plenty of sauce. You want more or is that good?
A little bit more.
And see, I took 4 sausage and stretched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My baby like meat, so I'm gonna give her.
And I want some of the pasta too because I know it got cheese in it.
I know. I got it.
Okay.
That's what all of that is. All of that's pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, all of that's
that
pasta.
looks perfect.
And see, here's a little extra sauce for you.
I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of Olive Garden.
Oh, baby, when you cook it at home, it's better than
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden because it's got that little bit of love in it.
Yep.
That little bitty love in it. So we're just gonna garnish it with a pinch of parsley. If you have fresh parsley, I recommend you just chop it up or just put a little sprig on the side.
Yes.
And we got to add some sprigs of feta because that's going to bring some additional bite out of it. So just like at the restaurant when they say, would you like more cheese, please? And you say yes. It's Parmesan, but we're using feta. 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 And if you're a bread eater, you can make some garlic bread, but we try to cut back on bread, especially if we're eating pasta. That's already our grain.
Yeah.
So no need to double up. So, Tasia, go ahead and zoom in on that so they can see all Mm-hmm. That looks good.
Mm-hmm. It was perfect.
All right, so thank you guys. I appreciate you always for supporting me and joining me at Sharing Recipes, where it's no longer just recipes for food, but it's always going to be about recipes for life as I see it. I appreciate your support. My mom and I, as of today, have been able to give away over 300 masks for free to our community. Please subscribe, follow me on YouTube and subscribe. Message me and let me know how many masks you and your family are in need of, and we'll make arrangements for you to pick up. So again, thank you for following me. Thank you for supporting me. You know that this is a form of therapy for me. If any of you out there suffer from any type of mental illness, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. And you are not alone. I am here with you. Though I'm far apart, you're always in my heart, because you are not alone. Thank y'all for tuning in. I support the stay-at-home movement. I hope you do too. Peace out. Be blessed.